Are you tired of playing on this map? Have you been wanting a map update for years but haven't received one? If so, then I have the solution for you. And that solution is building your own map. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a system for a 3x3 plate map and give tips that I have learned from building maps. But before we begin, I want to mention the fact that I started a Discord server in which you can write your video ideas and show off your creations, but the server is still relatively new, so it's not as high quality as other servers, but this is subject to change. Anyone can join and the link is in the description. But anyways, back to the tutorial. So to build this system you will need 75 pistons, 1 or 2 hinges depending on your character height, at least 10 wooden chairs, a lot of building blocks, 2 switches, at least 20 butter blocks, and last of all 1 cake or 1 classical firework. I completely forgot that classical fireworks also work similar to cakes, but in this tutorial I will be using cakes to duplicate. If you are wondering why this block list is so unspecified, then it's because the size of your map might vary depending on how big you want it, but we will get to that later. Now that you know what blocks you need, we can begin. So we are going to start by making the first piston segment, and then we will duplicate it once it is done. You need to make this beam 250 studs wide. Put 7 pistons facing downwards and change their lengths to 10 and speeds to 1. Place 25 pistons and change their stats accordingly. I should probably explain how this is even going to work. So what we are essentially doing is stacking plates on top of each other, and then we are extending those plates to form the map. This is what it looks like. And here is the plan behind it. Anyways, back to the tutorial. Duplicate this 4 times. Now that we are done duplicating, we have to turn the pistons. Now we need to make the pistons to extend the thing to the duplication zone so you can load in your builds while the map is present. Place down 35 pistons like this and then 40 pistons as later shown. We are now done with the system itself, but for the sake of this tutorial I will just be using flat grass plates. When you are going to build the map you need to dedicate 2 slots because one slot is for building the actual plate itself and the other is for the system. So how you are supposed to build it is you put down a 250 by 250 stud plate and then you build the stuff you want on that plate and move it to the map, but keep in mind that in this tutorial I used 70 studs for the height, so don't make anything higher than 70 studs. But if you really want to, then you can increase the distance here with more pistons. Also the thickness of each plate should be about 0.1 to 0.5 because you don't want it too thin, because then tracked vehicles will get stuck in the map sometimes, but if it's too thick then it just wastes material, but this is really up to what you are going for. Once you build one plate you should move it to the appropriate place in the system and then you can build the next, and you continue this until you have a full map. Now I'm going to show you how to set the map up. So first unanchor the entire thing, but be careful. If you have a lot of parts then you should unanchor each plate like so, because selecting all might crash the game if you have a lot of parts. Once you unanchor it, just flick the white switch and wait for it to get into place, and now anchor just the top of the map. Just make sure you anchor at least one block on every plate. Once that is done, flick the red switch to drop the pistons. Once the pistons have disappeared you need to anchor the entire map, and just like last time don't select all since that could crash your game, but once you are done with that you are done with everything. And there you have it, a customizable map. Just remember that if you want to you can make the map bigger, but you just have to follow a scheme like this one for the pistons to extend. And one last thing. I have not tested if this map works on mobile, but if your device can handle it and you can do all the steps that I mentioned previously, then by theory it should work on mobile. But anyways, that's it for this video. If you enjoy my tutorials and want to see more of them, then please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.